The night was restless in New York. Rain hammered against the windows of the Avengers compound, a place where silence had taken over, echoing with ghosts of heroes who once stood shoulder to shoulder. A faint hologram flickered the face of Tony Stark, speaking long after his death. "If you're hearing this, it means the world's breaking again and you'll need each other more than ever." The image vanished. For a long moment, no one spoke. Captain America stood motionless, the holographic light reflecting off his shield. Around him were the faces that had saved the universe, yet they looked more broken than the world they'd rebuilt. Thor held Stormbreaker loosely, his eyes heavy with weariness. Doctor Strange, ever guarded, was lost in thought. Wanda Maximoff had red energy flickering faintly around her hands. Captain Marvel leaned against a wall, arms crossed. And Spider-Man, mask half pulled off, was just a kid, silent among gods. They had fought together. They had died and returned. But after everything they had endured, the trust was gone. The silence was shattered as a transmission cut through the static. Nick Fury's voice. "Avengers, something's tearing the world apart. A dimensional rupture. Whatever you did in that multiverse war, it's unraveling." A holographic map flared to life, showing massive rifts tearing across the continents. Strange's eyes narrowed as he traced the symbols of the energy spikes. "This isn't a natural rupture," he said. "Someone's feeding it." Thousands of miles away, in the dark, metallic halls of Latveria, a lone figure watched the same chaos unfold. Dr. Doom stood before a swirling sphere of Reinergy, the Unity Core. The glow of its power danced across his armor. "The Avengers fractured reality with their arrogance," he murmured. "Now, I will rebuild it united under one will. Mine." With a surge of green lightning, he activated the device. A wave of distortion exploded outward, rippling through space and time. The world convulsed. Across the globe, reality began to twist. Spider-Man swung through collapsing skyscrapers, desperately pulling civilians from glowing fractures in the sky. Wanda fought to seal cracks in the air itself, her powers straining as voices from other worlds whispered her name. Thor summoned storms to contain cosmic fire raining from the heavens, lightning flashing against a broken sky. Everywhere, pieces of parallel worlds bled through New York, half submerged in Wakandan jungles, fragments of Asgard floating above the Hudson, an Ultron drone army flickering in and out of existence. "It's pulling our worst memories into reality," Wanda gasped, her breath catching. "Every fight, every death, it's feeding on us. Then we fight through it," Strange declared, his eyes glowing. Together, but even he could feel it, they weren't together anymore. Not really. At the ruins of the Sanctum Sanctorum, the team regrouped, though team felt like the wrong word. The air between them was thick with resentment. "This is Tony's fault," Strange said coldly. "He tampered with time. Tony saved us all," Cap snapped back. "At least he tried." "You're both wrong," Wanda said bitterly, her voice cracking. "It's me. It's always me." Thor slammed his hammer against the ground. "Enough. The realms burn while you bicker like mortals," but even he looked defeated. The god of thunder had lost too much. Asgard, his people, his pride. Then Spider-Man, the youngest among them, spoke softly, his voice cutting through the tension. "We're supposed to be Earth's mightiest heroes. But right now, we're just scared people yelling at each other." They all fell silent. And outside, the sky cracked open again. Suddenly, every screen in the world flickered to life. Dr. Doom's voice echoed, calm and commanding. "Avengers, you fought to protect a broken world, but unity cannot be achieved through chaos. Surrender your power, and I will merge every world into one. A perfect, eternal order." Captain Marvel looked up at the screen. "He wants to play God." "He already is," Strange whispered. Moments later, the ground trembled. From the skies descended massive constructs, multiversal sentinels, towering machines programmed to adapt to every hero's unique strength. The war for unity had begun. The world ignited. In London, Captain America led the resistance, his shield glowing with energy as alien fire rained from above. Shuri, Black Panther's successor, fought beside Spider-Man, combining Wakandan tech with Stark's legacy. Thor and Captain Marvel clashed with Doom's armada high above the clouds, lightning and cosmic blasts lighting up the night. Meanwhile, Wanda and Doctor Strange pushed into the heart of the storm, trying to locate the Unity Core signal. And then Strange saw it, the energy wasn't just cosmic. It pulsed with something far more human. It's feeding on us, he realized. On our anger, our distrust. The more we fight each other, the stronger Doom becomes. Then we stop fighting, Wanda said, her eyes glistening. Not each other, not anymore. Deep within Doom's citadel, Captain America faced him alone. The air shimmered with power as Doom raised his hand, energy spiraling around his gauntlet. You fight for freedom, Doom said, but freedom without order is ruin. Maybe, Cap replied, gripping his shield. But we don't kneel to tyrants, not in any universe. They clashed, shield against sorcery, courage against control. Then, with a blinding flash, Doom unleashed a fatal blast straight toward Cap. But before it could strike, Spider-Man jumped in front of him. The explosion ripped through the air, hurling them both across the chamber. Cap ran to him, shaking his shoulder. Peter, no, stay with me. I told you, unity hurts, Peter whispered weakly, a faint smile forming on his lips. But it's worth it, and with that, the boy who never stopped believing went still. Cap's heart broke. But his grief turned into fire. Fueled by loss and love, the Avengers rose again. Strange summoned his magic, linking their energies, their hearts, their powers, their spirits as one. Wanda stepped forward, tears in her eyes, her magic burning a brilliant red and gold. No more division, she said. Their combined energy surged into Doom's core. The power of every world, every memory, every sacrifice, exploded in a blinding storm of light. Doom screamed as the core shattered, releasing waves of fractured energy back into the cosmos. Reality began to heal. The skies cleared. The rifts closed. The world once again was whole. Doom fell to his knees, his armor cracked, his eyes filled with a dawning regret. Perhaps unity, he whispered, was never meant to be ruled. Days later, the sun rose over a quiet New York. Atop a new memorial stood the heroes, some wounded, all of them changed. On the stone were the names of those who had fallen, and those who had risen again. Peter Parker, wrapped in bandages, limped forward, smiling weakly. Next time, he said, can we try unity before the world almost ends? A ripple of laughter spread among them, soft, human, and real. Captain America looked out over the city, the same skyline that had burned, been rebuilt, and burned again. He lifted his shield and placed it down beside Tony's old arc reactor, a symbol of light, of sacrifice, and of unity. We may be broken at times, he said quietly, his voice carrying on the wind. But together, we're the closest thing to hope this world's got. Above them, the clouds shifted, forming a glowing shape, the Avengers symbol shining bright, like a promise. Thank you so much for watching this story unfold. If you enjoyed it, please hit that like button, and consider subscribing to see what happens next in our universe. We'll see you in the next one.